John and Peter are two finalists in search for internships for their end-of-course dissertations. On this fateful day, they both stumble upon an incredible opportunity. The application requirements are quite simple: a resume and cover letter to be submitted. Peter, who's always proactive, had already created a resume which he simply needed to tailor to suit the job description. John unfortunately had to create one from scratch. A very daunting task, and more so, they had less than 24 hours to submit their applications. Needless to say that John failed to respect the deadline and consequently lost the opportunity. This immediately gives us an answer to the commonly asked question: when should I create my CV? There's no straight answer to this question, but like Peter, be proactive and create your resume and CV once you start your education.
That's right.
You never can tell when you need them.
I get that I need to create my CV as soon as possible. But how do I go about it? What's a CV in the first place, and why is it important to me? In fact, each time I sit down to create my CV, I have no idea on what to put on it.
Interesting questions. Let's get some answers, shall we? A resume or CV summarizes an individual's professional experience, educational background, and qualifications. When an employer receives tons of applications, only those whose resumes stand out will be interviewed. Your resume therefore acts like your public relations officer, giving the employer a good first impression about you.
Oh, wow.
With a good resume or CV, other applicants don't stand a chance once you are involved. In the above story, Peter easily applied for that internship because he already had a resume handy. Thus, having a resume and CV saves time and minimizes stress during the job search process. What are the qualities of a good resume or CV? How it looks: that's clean, with an easy-to-read format and error-free. In other words, visually appealing. It makes use of fragmented sentences and a good mix of action verbs in descriptions. Each activity description starts with an action verb. Collaborated with senior management to solve complex trouble tickets is a basic description, which can be further strengthened using qualifiers or adjectives to show how well you perform the said task, such as: collaborated with senior management consistently and efficiently to solve complex trouble tickets. Next, qualify the value of that activity by indicating how beneficial it was to the organization or customers. Collaborated with senior management consistently and efficiently to solve complex trouble tickets to improve customer satisfaction. That's value. And where relevant, quantify the outcome or achievements from each activity. Check out this description. Collaborated with senior management consistently and efficiently to solve complex trouble tickets, leading to a 10% increase in customer satisfaction.
Impressive.
So, the best activity descriptors combine action verbs, qualifiers, and figures, quantifying the purpose and outcome of activities. Vocabulary-wise, a good CV or resume is equally plain and easy to understand, and it has a nice flow with smooth transitions and adequately ordered sections.
Sorry to interrupt again, but all this while, you've mentioned resume and CV. Are both different? I've always known them to be the same.
Contrary to popular opinion, a CV is different from a resume. The main differences relate to the length and additional contents. CVs are generally longer than resumes and include academic achievements, things like teaching or research experience, publications, honors, awards, grants. A resume is limited to a single page with the exception of robotics and IMGT majors who can go up to 2 pages. That's because they need to list all their personal projects which are required by employers. Resumes are appropriate for those pursuing careers in the corporate world, while CVs are mainly used by those pursuing careers in academia, such as teaching, research, applying for scholarships, fellowships, or even grants. A fresh graduate will likely have a 2 to 3 pages long CV, but an experienced professional will have more. Let's take a look at the typical resume template. We immediately see 7 main sections. The header includes your name, address, and contact information. Write your name in bold with 14 to 16 point font size. Your address and all other text should be with 11 point font size. Avoid italics, but you can bold headings of the different sections. No hyperlinks in your professional email or LinkedIn profile URL. All your margins should be within the range 0.75 to 1 inch. Do not, under any circumstances, put a picture. Your objective should be concise and precise. Let it show exactly what you are looking for. For example, summer internship in information technology or full-time position as an accountant. Under education, list all the schools you attended from high school upwards, starting with the most recent. 2 lines per item. School name, city and states on line 1, and below, indicate the major, minor if applicable, and your current GPA. Add your graduation date or expected graduation date if your program is ongoing. Just the month and year will suffice. Take note, if your GPA is less than 3 on a 4.0 scale, don't add it. Group your skills in relevant categories. Here are some examples of categories you could use. Be specific and use keywords to describe your skills, separated by semicolons to economize space. Some IT skills include system design, data analysis, Java application development. Next, list any relevant projects you've completed starting from the most recent. These include thesis or dissertation projects, or even other personal projects. The format is similar to that of education. Use bullet points to describe each project and start with action verbs. Mention the objective of the project, skills used, and the outcome. Also include any qualitative or quantitative results. If you worked in a group, do state the group size, and if you did any research or wrote a paper, mention those too. Make sure you highlight major achievements, accomplishments, skills used, and knowledge acquired. Under work experience, list your previous positions from the most recent. Your job title, name of the company, city, state, start and end dates of employment. As usual, use bullets to describe your tasks, starting with action verbs, and mention details that will enable your employer to understand your achievements, skills, knowledge, and accomplishments in the position. Activities and leadership should include your extracurricular activities and any leadership roles you held. Just a couple will suffice. If you were part of a club, mention your role, name of the club, its location, and the dates within which you were a member. Lastly, add any awards or honors you received. Mention the name of the award, the club or organization that awarded it, and the date.
Interesting. So, what does a typical CV look like? I really want to know the difference.
Here is a sample CV for employment, a faculty position. At first glance, it contains similar sections to a resume but with more details. It highlights research interest and experience, academic achievements such as awards, conference presentations, and publications. As for the contents, the same rules for writing a resume apply. Unlike a resume that's used only for careers in industry, a CV may be required for a variety of purposes, including graduate school admission, graduate assistantships and funding, research opportunities, dissertation review or defense, and employment. In each case, you must tailor your CV to suit the objective. If it's for admission into a graduate program, structure it in a similar manner to a resume, highlighting major undergraduate achievements, relevant coursework, and experience in your desired field. For a graduate assistantship, it should highlight your skills and experience relevant to the assistantship. For research opportunities, add categories such as research experience or relevant coursework to add more weight to your field of interest. In the case of dissertation review or defense, include PhD candidate in the education section to indicate that you are towards the end of your program. Equally include teaching experience, research, relevant coursework, and supervised research projects. For employment, make sure your CV is up to date with your most recent work experience and skills. Tweak it properly such that it matches with the job description you are applying for, and ensure that it's error-free. In summary, a CV and resume have different purposes, and you should create yours as soon as possible. A resume is limited to a page and is mainly used in the corporate world, while a CV is longer and has diverse uses such as applying for research, assistantships, grants, or even employment. In each case, always tweak your CV or resume to suit the purpose. If you need help creating your resume or CV from scratch, or just to proofread them, don't hesitate to get to us. Feel free to indicate in the comment section if you need a template to get started. Thanks and stay tuned.